What up, fam? It's your favorite cousin, your favorite uncle, your favorite nephew, your favorite father, your favorite son, your best friend's best friend. It's me, Dr. Larry, and welcome to Living For You, the YouTube channel. As I always say, this is a safe space, a positive place in which we come together and we grow and we learn about many things, and we also have fun sometimes too. So there's a lot of gambit of things that we've got going on at this channel, and just in general. If you don't know who I am Dr. Larry Smith. I am a certified life and spiritual coach. I am an author. I am a historian. I am an entrepreneur. And you can find out more about all of that at www.liveforyoucoaching.com. That is one of my business websites. It's the main website. It's www.liveforyoucoaching.com. And if you want to follow me on social media, you can follow me on Instagram and on Facebook at Dr. Larry Smith. Those are my personal accounts. So if you want to know more about me and just kind of follow me on a day-to-day basis, that's Dr. Larry Smith on both Instagram and on Facebook. So anyway, for the last few weeks, prior to 2 weeks ago, I was going through my book, The Freedom Prescription. You know the book. You've seen the book. Hopefully at this point you've bought the book out there on Amazon. Go ahead and get it if you haven't. It's The Freedom Prescription, reclaiming methods for reclaiming your life, reclaiming your present life after a trauma. It's there, beautiful cover. Not a very long book, as you can see, but it's a very powerful tool. It's not the answer to every question in the world, but it is definitely a tool that can get you into some right directions and possibly help you to begin to heal from the trauma that you've dealt with. For those of you who don't know, my spiritual coaching business and my life coaching business centers around trauma and helping people to kind of heal and move beyond that barrier to being present. So get the book. So anyway, I took a couple of weeks off from going through the chapters because I had gone through 4 chapters of the book, very intense stuff, and I wanted people to digest the stuff. I don't want you just to kind of get the stuff in passing. As you go through each chapter, you can possibly watch the video that corresponds to the chapter, but also to try to kind of take notes and possibly even go and look up some of my spiritual medicine, the vitamins that I was using that I'm sharing with you in this book, and go and read through some of those. So to kind of get deeper. So my recommendation really is, like, say if you go to chapter 1, right? And if you're reading through chapter 1 centers on accepting what is. And I did a video on that. I talked a little bit more about the chapter, some of the influence of the chapter and all of that stuff. Well, I also acknowledges and share some of the teachings I got from Byron Katie's The Work in that chapter, because it helped me. That was one of the many tools, but one of the important tools that helped me, important spiritual guides that helped me. So perhaps maybe you can go and find Byron Katie's The Work and read that along with the chapter and take notes and help yourself to powerfully move and motivate yourself through that, right? Through that portion of what you're trying to do. So I want you guys to take not just these videos in passing as you're reading through the chapters. Perhaps you can even go and find the medicines that I'm prescribing and go in and help yourself too, and get an even more of a powerful jolt to your healing. So I took a couple of weeks to kind of give people the opportunities for those of you who wanted to do that off. But now picking back up, we're in chapter 5. And chapter 5 is a pretty interesting chapter because it's about embracing tomorrow. Because at this point in the journey, in the book, you have gone through accepting your situation, accepting your reality, accepting your truth of where you are. You have gone through working on your mind and reevaluating your thinking, because we do realize that your thoughts play a major role in what you're experiencing presently. We've also talked about many different things, and as far as things go, as dealing with your own thoughts, accepting what is, thinking it through, being present in the present moment, of course, eventually loving yourself and gaining self-appreciation and self-love for yourself. And now we're talking about embracing the future. Because once you've gotten to a place of centered and self-loved and present, then you can go forward looking to the future, because your mind is in a place to where you're going to create a better future for yourself. Because remember, your future is a creation of your present thoughts. And the thoughts that you are reverberating in your mind are what's creating the future that you're going to ultimately experience. We manifest into our lives the things that we continually, consistently, consciously, and unconsciously think about. So that's why it was important before for you to do the thought work, so that you start to think about things and focus your attention, mentally at least, on the things that you want to experience in the physical realm. If you want wealth, start having a wealth mindset. If you want to create something, start having a mindset around creating that, and your actions will align, and eventually you will experience exactly what you're creating in your mind. That's how that works. It's worked that way for thousands, if not millions of years for many humans. We just don't always acknowledge those things that we think about, and we assume that, life is just happening because life is just happening. But the reality of it is, you have to get your mind aligned. And the truth of the matter is, people like me and people who do work with people in healing and all these things, really the main task of any life coach, any therapist, etc., is to help the client focus on the present and open their mind to the future. Okay? The main task of any life coach, therapist, etc., is to help the client focus on the present and open their minds to the future. Get them centered here, get them present here, and then eventually help them to set the building blocks. As life coaches, we always try to help you plan and set goals. Whether they're even small goals or big goals. Some life coaches do the planning and kind of a week plan, and they go up to a month plan, and they might go up to 6 months to a year, 10 years. Just to kind of put you on a trajectory of having a plan, so that you're intentionally creating the future that you want to create. Now, the reality of it is, you're going to manifest whether you want to or not. That it's impossible not to manifest your thoughts, your thinking, your feelings, and what you're putting your energy around. That is going to happen. And you have to be able to understand both the good and the not so good are things that you're manifesting. And in chapter 5, I kind of talk about that. Chapter 5 gets a little deeper and it's a little longer, because I want people to realize that you have responsibility for everything that you think about. You have responsibility for your life. It's your life. Your thoughts are what's creating that life that you are living, for the good or the bad. And the reality of it is it takes a lot of self-reflection to begin to take responsibility for things and experiences that we believe we do not want. It takes a lot of self-reflection to begin to take responsibility for things and experiences that we do not want. We like to say, oh, I manifest this good thing in my life. Oh, I manifest this new car, I manifest this new job, and these new friendships, and this great relationship, and all of this stuff. We love that. But we seldom take into account that the things that we did not want, you also manifest that into your life as well. So you have to go in, take self-inventory of your thoughts, and figure out what is it that you are bringing forward into your life, and what is it that you are manifesting into your life. Because the law of attraction is a very powerful, natural, spiritual, universal law. And the spiritual vitamin that I use in this book, my spirit guide, is Wayne Dyer. I love Wayne Dyer. Well, I think a lot of people do too. And Wayne Dyer has been on PBS. I even mentioned in the book, I recall being a child laying on Saturday or laying sometimes late at night watching TV, and there's an infomercial about a Wayne Dyer teaching or whatever, or he'll be teaching something. And that's how I came in contact with Wayne Dyer. But I didn't really take it deeply until, as I started to go and do my own work, Wayne Dyer became a teacher that was just frequently coming up. Even at my church center when I was in Atlanta, Wayne Dyer was a guest speaker there, and it was kind of like, okay, I got to dive more into Wayne Dyer, because this is becoming a common name that I'm hearing around. And so I did, and I realized I enjoyed the work. I enjoyed the teachings, and a lot of his teachings is about manifestation, the law of attraction, and creating the life that you want. And as I recall, when I first watched The Secret, read the book, watched The Secret, the movie that came out here, I think it was like the early 2000s. Wayne Dyer was in it, you know, and was a major part of it, but I never thought about it. He was on Oprah, and it's just funny how things come together, and you don't put it together all in one moment, but piece by piece by piece, you begin to put things together, and Wayne Dyer became a very important part of my spiritual development and my healing journey in life. And so I use Wayne Dyer in chapter 5 when I talk about embracing the future, because your future is what you create. You are manifesting what you're creating through the law of attraction. It just is what it is. And the thing about the law of attraction, as a universal truth, it does not care about what you are attracting. That only matters to you. I'll repeat that. The law of attraction as a universal truth does not care about what you are attracting. That only matters to you. You know, you can be attracting negative energy all day long. You can be attracting bad relationships and terrible experiences all the time. The law of attraction doesn't feel sorry for you. It doesn't sympathize with you. It doesn't have any connection, emotional, thought, feeling, anything about all of that. That is your doing, your experiences, your feelings, your thoughts. And so it's important for us to deal with those thoughts and get into that place that we're able to accept our thoughts. And just one more quote from the book, because I think it's important that we understand how important your thinking is and your responsibility is in what you're experiencing through your thoughts. The reality is that if you are not living the life you desire, you are attracting the life you have. So stop immediately, evaluate your consistent thoughts, and choose thoughts more in line with what you want. The reality is that if you are not living the life you desire, you are attracting the life you have. So stop immediately, evaluate your consistent thoughts, and choose thoughts more in line with what you want. That's simple. It really is that simple, but it's complicated. Why? Because people don't want to take responsibility for their thoughts and for what happens in their lives. Most people want the victim situation in which it's happening to me, I had nothing to do with it, and want people to feel sorry for them. But the reality of it is it's your doing. You're responsible for it, because your thoughts and consistent, continual, habitual thoughts are what's manifesting this stuff in your life. The sooner you master that, the sooner you think about that, the sooner you grab hold of that, the sooner you begin to start thinking thoughts that are in line with what you desire and what you want in life, and you start manifesting the life that you want. Because the reality of it is, it's all energy, and your thoughts are connecting to that energy. And Dr. Dyer says energy is in all things within our universe and has an impact upon objects around it, with something that we describe as the power of attraction. If it is everywhere, it is also within us. And so what happens is that power within you attaches to the outside energetic fields of the world, and you attract and create the experiences to which the energy of your thoughts are aligned with. This is a very, very, very powerful tool for creation. You know, nothing happens unless it first happens in the mind, period. And that's even on a major universal God spirit entity, that it happens first in mind, and then in spirit, and then in reality, right? In physical form. And so this is why it is super duper ultra mega important that you are conscious and aware and controlling as best as possible your thoughts. Now, you'll have thousands of thoughts over and over and over throughout the day. There's no way you can possibly control all of them. I'm saying look at the habitual ones, focus on those, and align those more with what you want. You know, not what you've experienced in the past, especially when you're dealing with a past trauma. A lot of us focus our thoughts on what happened, and we circle around that for many years. And then when we start manifesting the responses and the feelings and the things in our lives around that, we begin to wonder, like, what's wrong with me? Well, it's your thinking. It is your thinking. But it requires you to have faith. Faith in something. Faith in yourself. Faith in other people again. And I know from my own personal experiences, is that one of the first things that goes after experiencing a trauma is loss of faith, especially in someone, and especially in other people, if your trauma revolves somebody hurting you. You have a difficult time having faith in people again, which is totally understandable. But in order to move on and to heal and to manifest the life that you want to live, you have to have faith in people, in yourself, and in something higher than you. That is just the way it is. Manifestation requires faith, and without faith, you can't manifest. And so you have to kind of think about how you're thinking about things. You have to examine the attitudes that you knowingly and unknowingly, consciously and unconsciously have and hold about life, and change them. Your thoughts are the architects of the foundation of your material world. And so you have to be aware. If you have negative thoughts about people, you have to try to change that and work on why you have those negative thoughts about people. And that's what a life coach really, that's a major task of a life coach like myself, is to try to help people understand why they have certain thoughts. Now, what we're not going to do in any session with me, we're not going to spend time on the long run of holding on to that thoughts, because if I don't get you to move on from that as soon as possible, I'm just doing what you're doing in your mind, and I'm of no use to you. So my goal is to help you to see it, to acknowledge what the thought about what you have gone through is, but then now let's go on to something new. Let's try another thought. Because one of the questions I ask a lot of my clients is, have that thought worked for you all these years? And they say no. I said, then why do you keep having it? Why are you using the same thoughts, thinking you're going to feel differently? Change that. Reimagine that into something else so that you can start having a different experience. That is so important, because the truth of the matter is the natural flow of energy into your life comes through your thoughts, and that creates the manifestation of what you are experiencing in life. This is a wonderful chapter in this book. Chapter 5 is wonderful because it's a very powerful chapter. It's about manifestation. It's about getting the life that you deserve. I believe everyone deserves a great life. I believe everyone deserves a great experience, but I don't think everyone feels that way, and that's what inhibits so many of us from having the life. And I even give a few of my own personal examples in this book. I have literally lived a life that I've manifested for years now. Everything I have thought, my thoughts, my impulses, my feelings, I have manifested into a reality. And I can say that not from an arrogant place. I can say that from a factual place, that I can go back to thoughts that I have had about the life that I have now. And I can tell you thoughts I have now about the life I want tomorrow. I'm manifesting. Now, because I'm a work in progress, just like we're all a work in progress, I have not just manifested good, positive, light, and loving stuff. I wish that was the case, but I'm human. You know, I have human experiences. I don't walk on water. I never have. I can't even swim. And so at the end of the day, I have manifested not so good things in my life too, but I take responsibility for those things. Your attitude is everything. How you see yourself is everything. How you think about yourself is everything. And in this chapter, I talk about manifestation, but I also talk about affirmations. Calling yourself powerful instead of calling yourself a victim. I talk about focusing on the good news. I talk about focusing on the fact that you have a right to choose. You'd be surprised how many people do not feel that they have the right to choose in the life that they're experiencing. This is your choice. That is a very powerful realization once you get a hold of it and you actually intentionally begin to live from that place of choice and that place of choosing and willing and creating the energy you want inside so that you have the experiences that you want outside. It is completely up to you. And so I highly, highly, highly recommend, one, getting the book, because like I told you, this is a powerful book. It's short, it's brief, it's not the answer to every question, but it's going to give you so much. It's out on Amazon. The Freedom RX, the Freedom Prescription, right? Medicine for Reclaiming Your Present Life After Trauma by me, Dr. Larry Smith. Get the book. Continue to come to the channel and get some of this good stuff. And you're, like I said, and also use other resources. I'm not the end-all be-all. I don't have the answers to life. I'm a student as much as I'm a teacher. There's a lot I know, but then there's a lot I'm learning. And as I learn, I teach. That is how I am the perpetual teacher. Anything I gather and I learn that I can master and figure out for myself, I like to share it, that hopefully somebody out there in the world can gain a hold of it and use it for their own personal development, healing, and life, and growth, and whatever else. That's just my mission and purpose and ministry and, you know, calling in life. So we want healing. But in order to heal it, you have to know that you're manifesting what you're experiencing, and you're doing that through your thoughts and what you're choosing to think on consciously or unconsciously. So therefore, you have to evaluate your thoughts. And that takes work. That takes time. Journal it. Write it down. Write down thoughts you have every day and then go back and read them. You'll start to see common trends. You'll start to, if you take just 1 week, 7 days, that's my advice to you. Take 7 days and just write down what you're feeling at the end of the day. At the beginning of the day, and then go back at the end of the day and write it down some more. And then go the next day, at the beginning of the day, write down what you're feeling, and at the end of the day, write down your feelings. So you're doing two entries every day for 7 days. Go back and read those at the end of those 7 days. I guarantee you, if you take a highlighter, you can highlight common threads. Those common threads are possibly, more than likely, I guarantee you, what you are experiencing right now in your life. Because that's what you're thinking, and that's what you're consistent with. Anyway, I can go on and on and on, but make sure you go and get this book. I wrote it, I read it, I planned it, I did it. I'm going to write more, but I want you to go and get this one because this is a good foundational tool. It's out on Amazon. It's $12.99. It's not going to break the bank, but it should break the trauma curses and the generational curses and some other things that need to be broken. So for something so cheap that's going to help you, go get it. Go get what you need to get. Go get the healing. Go find the healing as best as can. I love you guys. I love you with the greatest love out there, as I always say. You are wonderful. Thank you for coming. Be sure to subscribe to the channel if you haven't subscribed to the channel. I look forward to more interactions like this. We're back. We're good. We're going. We're golden. We're doing it. And I love you, and I will see you in the next video.